today I thought it would be a fun idea to do the last 10 books tag. I will leave the original creator down in the description bar below, so go check that out. But yeah, this seems like a lot of fun. Let's just get into the questions. The last book you didn't finish. I've been kind of picking books up and putting them down multiple times recently, but I think the last book was Before We Were Strangers. This is an adult romance book, and the premise seemed really interesting when I first heard about it. It's about this guy that meets his college girlfriend, love of his life kind of thing, 10 years after they broke up, and I think they rekindle their romance or something like that. I read kind of like a couple of chapters and I wasn't in the mood for it at the time. I don't want to get rid of this yet though, because I am wanting to give it a second chance, but this was the last book I DNF'd. The last book you reread. I'm not sure if this counts as rereading because I didn't technically read it cover to cover, but I kind of skimmed through Some Girls Are by Courtney Summers because this book gave me a lot of like writing inspiration, and so I wanted to kind of see how the plot structure works and all the character development, all that stuff that I really enjoyed from this book. I wanted to kind of study it and analyze it. Question 3, the last book you bought. The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which I actually regret buying a physical copy of because 1, books are super expensive, especially here in Australia, and 2, I didn't enjoy this one quite as much. I haven't finished it, and I thought I was pretty good at scoping out books that I would enjoy because I've been reading for a very long time, so I thought I was like able to see the books that I would enjoy, and I don't typically keep the books that I don't enjoy, so I might have to unhaul this at some point. But yeah, I don't like the writing style, I don't like the characters, it's just not fun for me to read. I'm going to finish it because I am still in the middle of Camp NaNoWriMo, and I do want to like study plot structure and all that stuff because that's one of my weaknesses when writing. But yeah. The last book you said you read but didn't? I don't think I've lied about reading a book since university. I think the last book, I know I've told this story before, but Lord of the Flies, I've written about 5 or 6 essays on it. I've done analysis on it. I've done like in-depth character study, in-depth plot study, in-depth like everything, quotes, you know, I've quoted the book in several of my assignments and all that stuff. Never actually read it. The last book you wrote in the margins of. I actually annotate my books all the time, so every book I read you're probably going to see a pen marking here and there. Currently I'm going through and annotating and reading Ava Lavender, but the last book that I did annotate was Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. And I wrote like little notes in there as well. The last book you had signed. This is gonna be hard. Let's try this out. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Let me just find it. Ta-da! My best friend gave it to me on my 21st birthday a couple of years ago. And it's also done in purple ink, which is cool because I write in purple ink all the time. It's how I know, it's how my professors used to know it was my assignment. The last book you lost. Welcome to the shelf that nobody else sees in my videos, but these are all of my Goosebumps. I collect them. I have been reading Goosebumps since I was like, I don't know, like 8 I think, and I used to get them at secondhand stores, so anything by R.L. Stine I would get because there's a ton of them at secondhand stores when I was younger. I can't find them anymore, which kind of sucks, but the first 2 books that I bought with my own money were The Haunted Mask and The Night of the Living Dummy. I think that's what it's called. And I lended it to my friend when I was 12, when I was in high school. And then we kind of had a bad ending to our friendship. And I remember going to her house kind of the last time I went, and I saw the books there. I don't know if I actually brought it home with me or if she just didn't give it back to me. So those are the books that I lost. Yeah, because it's not here. And those were the 2 books that I bought with my own money for the first time, which really sucks. What's funny is I actually saw her a couple of years ago when I was doing a French class, and I thought that she had like moved countries and all that stuff. We made like awkward eye contact, but I didn't say. I should have asked her for the books back like 10 years later. The last book you had to replace. I don't think I've replaced any of my books. I mean, I've gotten physical copies of books that I read and wanted physical copies of, because I read a lot of books from the library, or I borrow it from friends, or I get ebooks of them or something like that, and when I like them enough I want to have it in my collection, so I buy my physical copies, but I don't think that counts. Yeah, so I don't think I have any that I've replaced. I don't think I would be able to justify that with my wallet. The last book you had an argument over. I guess if this counts, I got a lot of hate comments when I said that I didn't like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I said that I didn't like Sarah J Maas's writing style. Does that count? And the last question is the last book you couldn't get hold of. Okay, so I'm not actually actively looking for this book anymore, just because I mean, if I see it, then that's great, but I'm not gonna like spend too much time looking for it. There's this book called Heart's Blood by Juliette Marillier. I think that's how you say her last name. And it's a fairy tale retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And I've looked for it everywhere. I've looked for it in Book Depository. They say to try 8 books. I've looked for it in 8 books. It's not there. I've gone to my local bookstores. They say that it's out of print. So I haven't been able to find that, which really sucks. But yeah, I'm not like dying for it or anything. Anyway, that is all from me today. I'm going to tag Willow from The Reading Corner, and I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon.